And we're back now with House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy. And, Mr. Chairman, you were in the middle of a thought about that footnote. Was it the footnote in the Democratic rebuttal?
It was, but you know, Maria, this Democrat memo, it makes me smile. If it were Adam Schiff, if it were up to him, it would have been a haiku and not a memo, because he did everything he could to keep us from finding out any of the information that was in either one of those memos. So Congress has proven itself incapable of investigating this FISA abuse. DOJ should not be looking into it. We need an independent arbiter. That's either the Inspector General or Special Counsel.
Let me ask you, a lot of people have been disappointed to learn that you will not seek re-election, Congressman. You've been doing such important work, obviously, and you have been seeking the truth, and we thank you for that, Congressman. Do you worry that once you are gone, because you're not seeking re-election, that these investigations slow down, that we will actually not get to the truth?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. Second of all, I don't, because there are some really good members of Congress, guys like Johnny Ratcliffe, Elise Stefanik. They're not incredibly well known because they don't drive drunk and they don't cheat on their wives and they don't do the other things that, unfortunately, you have to do to get well known in this modern day culture. But there's some really good women and men that will be left in Congress. And the one job that only I can do is be a good husband and a good father. So I'm going to come back to South Carolina and try to do a better job of that.
I wonder if the president decides to make a change in the Attorney General's office and would like you to be his AG, if that would change your mind.
Well, I would tell the president, with all due respect, that he can do a lot better than me. While I love that system, I love the justice system. It's the best job I've ever had. Unfortunately, I've been in politics for 8 years. And in the current modern-day political environment, it'd be a tough confirmation. So I would advise them to pick a woman or a man who has a career in law enforcement, that's never donated to a political campaign and never run for public office before. That's a unique job where you work for a blindfolded woman holding a set of scales. It has nothing to do with politics. And there are lots of really good people not named Trey that he ought to look at.
It's disheartening to see how much politicization has gone on in government. How hard is it to turn this ship around, given the fact that we know what went on at the IRS, the targeting of conservatives? We know what went on at the top of the FBI in terms of these omissions and the bias against President Trump. How hard is it to turn this ship around in terms of the politicization that has gone on in our government agencies?
Well, it's proven difficult for the last 7 years. I haven't done a very good job of it. Maria, it takes 3 different groups in our culture to provide proper oversight. It does require Congress. It requires the media, and the media has to ask tough questions on both sides, but it also requires the voters to insist upon it. And what I really hate is relativism, which is we're going to judge this party by a different standard than the one that we judge another party. I think the same rules ought to apply to both sides, and I hope the voters get to the point where they do apply the same rules to both Republicans and Democrats. Then I think we'll see the change that you referenced.
All right.